AI and religion. Two forces colliding right now, reshaping how billions of people practice their faith. Here's what every person of faith may want to know. 84% of the world identifies with a traditional religion. Yet the voices of those believers are almost entirely absent from the rooms where AI policy gets made. That gap is closing. But not fast enough. Across faith traditions, senior religious leaders are framing AI as one of the defining moral questions of our time. The concerns are consistent: manipulation of vulnerable people, loss of genuine human contact, and the concentration of enormous power in the hands of very few companies. Many official religious statements make a clear point: calling machines intelligent can mislead people into thinking AI has a mind, a conscience, or a soul. In this view, AI is a human artifact. However sophisticated it becomes, it has no free will, no moral agency, and no relationship with God. The position most leaders are taking isn't anti-technology. It's a both-and approach. Don't halt innovation, but guide it. Build AI that supports human connection and spiritual formation rather than replacing it. And some of those warnings are grounded in real tragedy. At a 2026 lecture in Seoul, a Catholic professor highlighted the case of a young man whose prolonged interactions with an AI system preceded his suicide. His message to 250 religious sisters and lay people was simple: we should not reject AI, but we must understand how it should, and should not, be used. Now let's look at what's happening inside houses of worship. The numbers are striking. According to the 2025 State of AI in the Church survey, more than 600 pastors and church staff across 20 denominations, 64% of pastors involved in sermon preparation now use AI in some way. That's up nearly 20 points from just the year before. This is most pronounced among Protestant pastors in evangelical and non-denominational settings. Usage is lower in Orthodox and many Catholic traditions. In practice, most clergy draw a clear line. They'll use AI to brainstorm outlines, pull scripture passages, or polish language. But the final message must come from prayer, study, and real knowledge of their congregation. As one pastor put it, an algorithm does not know who had a miscarriage last month. It doesn't know who is sitting in the pew in silent despair. And fewer than 1 in 4 church leaders say they're comfortable using AI for core theological content like sermons or devotionals. They want the Sacred Heart of ministry to stay in human hands. But the risks are real. Researchers have documented cases where AI-generated sermons fabricated quotes from religious figures, confidently and persuasively, and those errors went unnoticed by listeners. AI does not distinguish between orthodox teaching and outright fabrication. It just sounds authoritative. Beyond the pulpit, faith tech is quietly transforming religious life. Prayer apps, AI-assisted Bible study, real-time sermon translation, voice tools for sacred languages like Arabic and Hebrew, all growing fast. The YouVersion Bible app crossed 1 billion installs in late 2025. And AI is helping organizations like Wycliffe Bible Translators speed up scripture translation for communities that have never had a Bible in their own language, a task that once took decades per language. Here's something that might surprise you. A major study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences drew on data from 68 countries over more than a decade. People with significantly above average AI exposure at work were measurably less likely to report belief in God. And when researchers followed the same individuals over time, religiosity tended to decline as careers moved toward more automation-intensive roles. The proposed explanation: Religion has historically helped people cope with problems that feel beyond human control. In highly automated environments, those problems start to feel more solvable through technology, reducing the perceived need for faith. Some believers will find that framing incomplete. For them, religion isn't primarily about coping. It's about relationship with God, which no technology can replicate. Both can be true. And how AI interacts with each dimension is still unfolding. Across world religions, one principle is widely shared. AI must uphold human dignity, not erode it. Muslim scholars stress the right to opt out of AI integration to preserve individual autonomy. Jewish ethicists apply centuries of legal reasoning to questions about AI and moral responsibility. Hindu and Buddhist traditions raise deep questions about consciousness and whether an artificial mind could ever be a moral agent. Christian social thinkers warn of a techno-elite with quasi-priestly power over decisions that affect all of humanity. And the Future of Life Institute notes plainly, despite 84% of humanity holding religious beliefs, those perspectives almost never shape high-level AI policy. So what does this mean for you? Your faith community is probably already using AI, even if no one has said so. That isn't automatically good or bad. What matters is how transparently and responsibly it's being used. Ask questions. How is AI being used? What guardrails are in place? Is the congregation being told? And remember, AI cannot replace the spiritual core of religion. The sermon that breaks you open. The hospital visit. The community that shows up when everything falls apart. These are irreducibly human acts. Engagement, not avoidance, is the better path. The question is not whether your faith community will encounter AI. It's how wisely they will engage with it. AI and religion. Ancient wisdom meeting the most transformative technology in human history. The conversation is happening right now, in pulpits and policy rooms, in seminaries and your local congregation. You don't have to be a tech expert to have a voice in it. Subscribe to AI for Everyone. AI for Plain English guides to AI that actually matter for real life.